Welcome. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. Today is Friday, January 15th, 2021, and it's the day to wear a hat to celebrate Hat Day. Now, embrace your host, Zoe Wood, the video confidence coach.
So you finished your video, you put it up there for the world to see. Now what? G'day crew, it's Zoe the Video Confidence Coach, your guide to personal branding. And welcome to today's episode where we're going to talk about, alright, so you've made your video, you've put all the effort and time and energy and all those lovely things to create your video. And then you upload it to wherever you're going to upload it to, multiple different channels. Remember, you're not just posting to one and hope it works. You need to do multiple channels. So you're posting it to like YouTube, to Facebook, to Instagram, to LinkedIn, to Twitter, to Vimeo, to Blaze, to like your website, more importantly your website, and just everywhere. And you're just like, what now? Like I posted it. It's up. But now what? Like maybe I got a few friends and families, maybe even a few colleagues like share it and like it and stuff, but it's not going viral. It's not going anywhere. Like it's not, being portrayed by like other, news outlets and stuff like that. Like it's not being seen by anyone. It may feel like that when you post a video, or maybe you're trying out posting a new video for the first time. Like you don't usually do video content, but you wanted to give it a shot, so you put all this effort into one video, and then you put it out there into the world, and you just don't hear anything back. And I'm going to tell you now that creating and posting a video is only 60% of the work. Another 40% of the work is actually following that up with promoting your video, actually drawing people's attention to it while building your, following and growth. So people, if they like the video, they like and watch more. You build up your personal brand to be able to build up a following. But even people who have these really large followings can sometimes post a dud of a video. But they don't let that get them down. And then they proceed to fix it up and to make it happen. And in this podcast, I'm going to tell you and show you how that's done. And before we get started, the one thing I want to preface is that the following podcast is talking about hero videos. And if you don't know what a concept of a hero video is, it's either usually your most expensive, your most invested time video for either that year, that quarter of the year, or that 60-day period, whatever it is, something that you've put a lot of time and effort into creating. And it doesn't have to be, a video that's certain minutes long or under certain minutes or what have you. It's none of that stuff. It's mainly the stuff that you maybe are going to be using again and again to promote something that you are going to hopefully get something invested out of. So say, for example, an advertisement for an online course, or an advertisement for a Kickstarter that you're running, or maybe even a video about a very major pivoting, rocking news story that's happened in your particular niche in your industry. Whatever that covers, and that's what we're going to be discussing in today's podcast, because all of these techniques do take a lot of time and effort to be able to replicate, and to do these for all of your videos every time you produce one can be a bit daunting and a bit, I don't even want to try if it's going to take that much effort. So I want to stress to you that this is for I don't want to say once off, but to be able to use these techniques. For some of them, you can use them for every video regardless. You can almost put that on track and it can go by itself and it can do the hamster wheel way and do its own thing. But for very special videos, I want you to use the techniques following. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. First is to focus on SEO and blogging. Now, blogging isn't what it used to be. And if you're not following what I'm doing right now, this is actually a video blog. This is connected to our website where there is a full write-out of all the content that you can see here in words. So that's helpful for SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, which means that all the words that you put and type out onto your website can be seen by Google, can see by Bing, can see by Yahoo, if Yahoo's still a thing. But essentially all their little bots are scouring all the websites in the world because they want to help answer people's questions. And some people have questions about, okay, I've done a video, what now? How do I promote it? And essentially that's what you'd be doing here. You'd be checking out our blog post. Hint, and if you're not here, check out the link below in the description. Got to bit. Just did a video on that. And down below you can see information that helps these robots figure out who I'm answering the question for. So SEO would be important to have factors focusing on keywords. So when you're doing a video, hopefully, you've already done a lot of research in regards to who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, and what phrases you can use to help get people to find you. So say, for example, if I was doing a video on floristry, seems to be my favorite topic for today. So if you're doing a blog on floristry of how to pick the best winter flowers for the South Australian region, for example, we're being very specific because we're being very niche, very seasonal, and very direct. And what you want to do there is be able to use SEO and blogging to be able to have a written blog that, you know, computers and robots and the minions of Google can understand and read and go through and figure out who you're answering a question for. So if you're talking about, I don't know, kangaroo paws, it's an Australian type of plant where I'm not sure how seasonal it is, but because most of Australian plants are evergreen, I think is the term. I'm not sure what the Australian actual term is. But say, for example, I have a nice big paragraph about kangaroo paws, for example. And if I don't put that in my captions, if I don't put that in a blog or a chunk of text below my video, Google isn't going to find more about me. Robots can't see videos and they can't see images. So what you need to do is to use your SEO and use your knowledge of, okay, if I couldn't see what this video was, what would I want to know about it? Put down all your key phrases below. Next way on how to promote your video is doing what most people think of doing, is promoting it via social media. But the hack that works, that most people don't do, is promote it more than once. I know this sounds silly, but when you're on social media, the world flies by like a million miles a second. So if you're able to put all the content together and be able to promote, you've done a video and you've spent, I don't know, $5,000 on it. That's a fair chunk of money. What you want to be able to do is to make it last longer, so make it evergreen content that can last a long time, but content that you can bring up over and over again that directs that to your people's needs, but also answers their questions. So if you've done a video about the best cake pans for baking, for example, well, what you want to do is to make sure that you select all the specific questions from within those videos and make sure you promote that video throughout the year. Say, probably not too intense, but say, for example, maybe one post a month, for example. Or if someone asks you a question on one of your comments or one of your other pieces of content, you can always link that below in your social media to say, hey, we've actually done a video about this, check it out. You can phrase it however you like. But you have to remember that posting something once on social media is not going to help you. You have to be making sure that you post it regularly, making sure you're answering people's questions, and making sure that you're posting it in other places rather than just one social media platform. Behold the omnichannel effect.
Do Video Podcast.
Next one is using influencers or collaborators. So you may have heard of the influencer trend, but essentially influencers are people or businesses within inside of your industry or your niche that promote products, services, what have you. But people see them as a goal, or people like to know what they're up to because of the type of lifestyle they live. So what you can do a few different things, but you can contact an agency who deals with these influencers and you can pay to deal with them, for example, or you can work with a local influencer in your local area, for example, just one-on-one, or maybe speak to their manager. Or not, you can always collaborate with other businesses or other influencers. Maybe you both have small groups or small niches, as it were, but if you're able to collaborate with another business or another influencer, for example, that their clients have a very vested interest in what you can provide for them, and vice versa, that'll help you be able to get more street cred and get more audience to look at your video than just your audience alone. So now we're on to paid advertising. We slightly mentioned it before in the influencer category, but we're primarily focusing on actually paying the social media giants or paying Google or paying such and such to actually pay to get your content in front of people. Now, I only recommend this if you're actually going to get some sort of investment return out of this. So say, for example, if you're doing a video on puppies or how cute they are, you probably won't get any monetary investment out of it. But if you're talking about getting people onto an online course which is going to help them improve their photography, or something where there's going to be money exchanging hands if people actually see this video and are convinced of your message, then maybe paying a few bucks here and there on either Facebook, Instagram, or whatever platform your audience actually watches may be helpful to get you in front of the people that actually want to see your content. And from there you can see who are willing to pay for your content or your product or service, and from there you'll be able to niche down a little further than you did before.
Sponsored spot.
Are you enjoying the podcast so far? Well, if you are, I really hope you subscribe to us, because we give 3 episodes a week on various and different topics about building up your personal brand and all that things that entails, about doing videos and all that cool stuff. And if you're not interested, then why are you listening this far? How are you holding on so far? Maybe if you're not interested, maybe use that time, instead of listening to me talk, maybe use that time effectively to go to Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review and talk about how good I am. I'm not sure if that's a good selling point or not, but let's try that. Okay, let's do this. Let's go back to the podcast, shall we?
You're listening to the Do Video Podcast.
Next one is putting it in your email signatures or social media bios. Now on Instagram, for example, it's notorious that you're not able to use links within your actual posts. So you have to direct people to your bio to get people to a clickable link, which then moves them on to the piece of content that you want them to see. So if there's a recent video that you've done that's taken actually a lot of time, feel free to put that link either in your email signature that you send out to all your clients or everyone that you come in contact with. Feel free to put that link in your social media bios or anywhere clickable that people can see that it's a link that all they need to do is click it and move on to see your content. And you can do this very much like we mentioned in the social media by promoting that link every now and again, not too heavy, but say once every fortnight, once a month, answering another specific question that your video actually helps with. And one of the final ways to actually promote your video is to get into forums, groups, or Reddit chats. Now, this is the reason why this one is the end of our ideas, is because it's not a terrible idea. If you are constantly adding engagement or being helpful in a Facebook group or in a Reddit forum or another forum, for example, then the idea of posting a helpful video to your fellow photographers or gardeners would actually be helpful. But if you do it in a way that makes you seem needy or makes you seem extra promoty or even spammy, that's not going to help you out that's not going to help out your online reputation or how the other members actually see you and actually want to interact with you. So this is a way of promoting your content, but probably don't go too heavy on it. And a bonus tip for you is make sure you put your videos or a collection of your videos into playlists. Now you can do playlists on Vimeo and YouTube and other video sharing sites, but the idea of putting your content or content like yours into playlists is because it allows you to be bingeable, so people can watch one of your pieces of content and then immediately move on to the next. That builds up your trust and your recognition within the space, so people see, oh, they've made plenty of content about the things that I want to know about. I'll like them, I'll subscribe to them, I'll learn more about them, and eventually I'll buy from them. And creating playlists also tells Google what content people would want to see. If they've seen one of your videos, they might like other content like that, and which helps you put yourself forward.
Before we end the podcast, I would like to acknowledge and pay respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians and owners of the land on which I produce this podcast. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people continue to face discrimination and disadvantage due to our country's colonial past. I stand with them in their fight against injustice. The Do Video Podcast and Video Confidence Coach exist purely for educational purposes, and all information provided is of a general nature and should not be solely relied upon to make a branding decision. That's why you get me to consult with you directly. Wink wink. My email is pod@vcc.training. if you're interested. I ask if you like the show to subscribe and give me 5 shining stars on your review on your podcaster of choice. And join the Video Confidence crew by following me on my socials. Links in the show notes below. TLDW, too long didn't watch. When you create a video, 40% of the work
is done promoting it. Like 40% of the work that you do when creating a video, well, you're actually promoting the video that you've just made. Always try new things to see what works and works best for your audience, because something that you might try doesn't work, but something maybe did work, and then you just keep doing that. And always have a hero video for a set focus period of time. So instead of trying to do all the things that we talked about in today's episode, every time that you produce a video, every single time, maybe don't do that and give yourself maybe either a video every quarter or every 60 days or something that you can use to be like, all right, this is where I'm going to put all my energy and focus on promoting this video to achieve this return on investment. And I'm going to be doing that as much as I can. Within reason, of course.
What's next?
So I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast episode. What's next to listen to is our podcast from the 4th of January 2021, where we talk about getting organized, because there is no way that you are going to be able to do any or all of these things as discussed in today's podcast if you don't organize your time effectively. You feel me? Good. Hopefully I am getting through to you. But I hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and I will see you on the next podcast, which will be in not tomorrow, the next day. Oh, wait, this is Friday. So on the Monday. Yes. Ow. All right. I apologize for hitting my microphone, and I hope you can forgive me. All right. Bye, everyone.